Hey guys, come and join me in the Old Frog and Toad for another pipe chat. Should be a fun one. See you inside. Hey guys, Mike here from Old Man Things, and welcome to the Old Frog and Toad. If you want to have a drink or a pipe, go grab it now if you want. If you don't already have it, if you don't, that's fine too. I'm just having water, so cheers everyone. This is going to be a bit of a couple of different things. First of all, I got a neat little package today in the mail, which I didn't expect. My high school buddy, his name's Ryan. Him and I were like brothers in high school. I loved him to bits. He's just the best friend. He's just we're like brothers, and I don't see him very often. But he and his wife went to Ireland, and he messaged me a couple times when he was there, and it was so much fun to, live through his experiences while he was traveling around Ireland. And when he got back, he said, "Send me your address." He said, "My wife got a couple keychains she wants to send you." So I sent him my address, and I got the parcel today, and just before the parcel came, Ryan gave me a call and he said, your package is going to be there. It's out for delivery. He said, "Don't open it until you call me. They tell me when you get it." And then he said, "I want to do a face chat with you." So in there were a couple keychains. I gave one to my son and one to my daughter. And it was just like a shamrock. And then there was this flat cap that he got, which I really like. It's got the little clover. It's all wool. It's quite good. I'm quite pleased with it. And it was a big box, and I was reaching in there, and there was a little box in there, and I said, "Ryan, what's this?" And I pulled it out, and he went to Peterson in Dublin, and he got me this church warden. And of course, he doesn't know anything about pipes. So for him to have gone to it and ask about pipes, it's just, even for him to wear a flat cap. He hates flat caps. He always made fun of me wearing flat caps. But I just think it's just fantastic. So I'm going to light this up, and I've got some Fisherman's Dottle. And then I'm going to do a VR for Donnie at a pipe and a pour. I got this all today. Quite like this. And I'm using my little Highlander tamper from Eric. So cheers, Eric, if you're watching. So if you've never watched a pipe and a pour, he's a great presenter. He's celebrating his 1 year anniversary and his 500 subs. Donnie's always positive. He's got always has a good attitude. He's just so much. It's. I so much enjoy watching his videos. So he asked a question about your most unique pipe. So that was kind of a weird one for me. The question, because I had to stop and think. And when I first got started doing my channel, I did a video about this, and I don't even think it has 100 views on it. So I thought I'd tell you about it again. When I was a kid, and I'm talking like 6 or 7 maybe, I loved Sherlock Holmes, and of course the old, you would see on Sundays on PBS, the old Basil Rathbone. And I used to love to play Sherlock Holmes, imagine. And my grandparents lived in Canada. And of course my grandma went back to England. She'd go to England like 3 or 4 times a year. And she'd always say, what do you want me to bring back? With this one particular time, I said, can you bring me back a deerstalker's cap? A Sherlock Holmes one. I still have it, but I looked everywhere for it. I couldn't find it for this video. As soon as the video is done, I'll find it, I'm sure. So she brought me back this deerstalker's cap, and I just couldn't get over how great it was. And my mom and dad divorced when I was 6, and of course, anything about my dad, my mom absolutely could not stand. Well, my dad knew how crazy I was about Sherlock Holmes, and my dad was a pipe smoker. Started smoking pipes when he was during the Vietnam War. He was stationed in England at the time in Lake Heath, U.S. Air Force Base. And so anyways, he had collected quite a lot of pipes. And one day he said to me, he always called me Moose. That was my nickname, Moose. To the day he died, when he could talk, he would say, especially if he was drinking, he'd go, Moose! Oh, Moose! So when he had a stroke, and he always talked like he was drunk, I always knew when he was drunk, when he'd call me Moose. Isn't that funny? This is a thing. Anyhow, brings back good memories. Miss my dad. So I was like 7, and he gave me this little pipe, and it was shaped like how you would have, the Sherlock Holmes, but it was small, and it was perfect for me. And he said, you can use this to play when you play Sherlock Holmes. I was so excited. I couldn't wait to get back home where my mom would, because I lived with my mom at the time and would go spend, every other weekend with my dad. Because we lived like maybe 3 hours away. My mom remarried and we moved up north in Wisconsin. But anyhow, I couldn't wait to get home because I had my Sherlock Holmes hat And then I had that pipe. And for about a week and a half or 2 weeks, I had that pipe with that Sherlock Holmes cap. And I mean, I just, that just transferred me in, right? Or transformed me into Sherlock Holmes. And I mean, I was in the Dickens streets of London and the backyard. I loved it. I thought I died and went to heaven. And one day I went to school. When I came home, like I said, it was maybe a couple weeks I had that. Came home, I couldn't find my, because I couldn't wait to get home to play Sherlock Holmes. And I got home and there was my cap on my dresser, but the pipe was gone. I looked throughout the whole room for that pipe. Finally, I went downstairs and I said to my mom, I said, "Where's that my Sherlock Holmes pipe?" And she said, "That was your father's." And I said, "Yes." And she said, "I threw it away." I said, "What do you mean you threw it away?" And she said, that's it's just tobacco and it reminds me of your dad and you don't need to be smoking." So she said, "I threw it away." Well, in my life at that time, it was probably one of the most valuable things you could have imagined. It was so precious to me. I was 7. But that pipe, I knew that pipe. I knew it. I mean, it was just because so fast forward to maybe 2 summers ago. I'm in an antique shop. It's that antique shop where the Ukrainian guy owns, and then he like rents out the spaces. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. If you're ever in Door County, you got to go to it. And there's this booth, and it was the same booth where I got that Peterson on Friday. And there was all these old rundown pipes, terrible shaped pipe. And there was a little one, and I grabbed it, and I just, you hold it in your hand, and it's just like, I held it in my hand throughout the whole thing, and it was junk. It was junk. It was junk, and I'll show you in a minute. But I walked around that whole shop with that pipe in my hand. It just felt so familiar. But I couldn't place it. And I didn't need it. I thought to myself, I'm not going to smoke it. It's just because the stem was broke, everything. I couldn't. It was just, something's in you. I couldn't not get it. So I got it home, started cleaning it up. And it was just like a switch in the head. It was my pipe, not my pipe, but it was near exact. And even the little circle on the stem, it was like, I remember that circle. It was a yellow bowl. It was this pipe. Now, the stem is busted. So I tried to sand like a bit of a tooth mark, but it doesn't do very good. And it's almost hard to, it's cracked, and it should come out a bit more. Come out probably maybe that much more. And this was all chipped, so I had to sand that down. But that pipe, just to hold it, it just brings back the memories of playing Sherlock Holmes. That was the pipe. So My most unique pipe, I would say, is this one because it represents a better shaped partner way back when. Almost 40 years ago. And I've looked for them. I can't find them. I have looked. Now that I know what it is and knowing about pipes, I have looked and I never found one like that. You can see as a little kid who liked Sherlock Holmes. Wouldn't that have been perfect? So guys, thanks for watching. This turned out a lot longer than I imagined. I do apologize. I thought this would be like a 4-minute video. So cheers everyone. Check out A Pipe and a Pour if you haven't watched it. I'll put his information in the ashtray below. As Olden in the Way says, the ashtray in below. And I shall be in deep thought now with my church warden. And think about days gone past. And in the backyard of the North Woods of Wisconsin, pretending I'm in the East End of London, chasing Professor Moriarty. Can you imagine? And to that, ladies and gentlemen, toodle pip!